What is it, a purchase group? What transaction? How do you build it? What does it mean to buy in a purchase group? Because a lot of people hear stuff and hear this purchase group and they think it's really easy and let's do it. It's much cheaper.
You're talking about there's a big difference between a purchase group project or buying as a group.
So purchase group project.
Okay. So there's two kinds of, maybe there's more, but there's two kinds mainly kinds of purchasing a new development apartment. One is when you buy from a developer, when you know the final price, if it's with or without the index, but you know eventually what's the final price and when you're going to get the apartment. Even if it's going to be late, you're going to get rent after it. And there's the other option when you buy with a purchase group. So when you buy with a purchase group, you buy with a group of people. Usually you buy a part of the land. You're not buying an apartment, exact apartment on paper. You're buying a part of the land.
Who is that group you're talking about? Do you know them?
Well, it depends. There's all kinds of groups. So, I mean,
but mostly you don't know the people
mostly you don't know.
With.
I mean, there's small purchase group. It can be 4, 5, 6 apartments, and it could be huge purchase groups with hundreds of apartments.
Wow, that sounds tough.
Yeah, which there's no way you know everybody. And in most cases, you have the organizer who organizes the whole thing. Today is a big business. There's a lot of companies who does these organizing groups. Like the biggest one in Israel is Besser, and they have one of the biggest purchase groups in Israel. It's called Besser Sarona with hundreds of apartments. So basically, you buy as a part of the group. You buy a piece of the land. You have contractual obligation of a specific apartment, but the biggest difference is you don't have a guarantee for every payment you make. So let's say now you have an appraisal report and you get in the purchase group and the appraisal report says your apartment number 25 is worth 4 million shekel, okay? And now there's a payment layout you need to pay each year or every other month, but it can change during the way because sometimes the constructual cost is going up and you didn't take something in consideration, and there's delays in some things and there's wars, and you're not protected by what we call the sales law. I think this is the right translation. So you're not really protected by the Israeli law as much as you're protected by when you buy from a developer.
So why do they do that?
Well, first of all, you buy risk here and to save the developer's costs.
So you yourself and all those 100 people are the developer.
Exactly. I mean, you
hire someone, but
a construction.
So who makes the decision? If you're 100 people, there is 100 people makes a decision of.
No, so you have a group. You have elections. You have people that decides all that. I mean, you bring to vote every big decision along the way, and you have the organizer that eventually perform that for you. But like we said, eventually the purpose of a purchase group is to save the developers. Cost, which is maybe, 10, 15%. I mean, the purchase group was born to eventually not just to save the developer's cost, but also to save purchase tax. Once you used to buy in a purchase group, you used to pay only for the land, which was good for people who are investing and not their first apartment. So you only pay like 6 or sometimes even 5% on the property value. But in the last years, the tax office canceled that already, and now they say, when you buy with a purchase group, you will be taxed as an apartment.
What about buying a land in Israel? You just want a land. Where do you find lands in Israel?
Well, there's not a lot of them. Not a lot of free lands to buy.
What usually is the size of the land you buy and where?
Well, it depends where you're looking to buy, to live.
Well, I want to live in the central of Israel and buy a land.
Yeah, so good luck with that, first of all. There's not a lot of, free lands to buy. I mean, there are a few, but they're very...
Ramat HaSharon, Herzliya, where?
Right. If you don't want to buy second-hand or from a developer, you can always look for empty land and to buy your own house there. If it can be like a multi-family or like a individual.
So you buy the land and then you buy
the land and you hire a constructor to buy your house.
An architect and everything.
Yeah. By the way, in that case, you pay the taxes for a land. It's all different taxation. Also, there's a Olim exemption for that, but it's different than buying an apartment. But it's more complicated because you're the developer eventually. You're the owner, and you hire people to do that for you.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's an option. People, can afford that.
Well, but in Israel, as I know, you don't buy the land, really. Like,
It
it's
depends.
not a private, there are like rarely private lands in Israel. Like
Right.
93% belongs to the Israeli
To the state,
government,
yeah.
and then you rent it for 99 years or...
Well, it depends. Some are private ownerships, and you can buy it and own it. And like you said, most of the lands or even most of the properties in Israel are owned by the state, and you have like a long lease, what we called in Israel chachira, for I don't know. Sometimes it's 50, 99 years. Sometimes it's even 999 years. I saw sometimes, and you need to renew it each time. It depends on the agreement you have with the state or the former seller.
And then you pay them every 99 years for...
Yeah, every time. You know, it doesn't have to be a land. Sometimes when people buy apartments with a long-time lease from the state, if it's a government company or from the state itself. So sometimes when they buy the apartment, you see there's only like 30 or 20 or 50 years left in the lease agreement with the state. So you need to review that in the beginning to see what are the terms, if they can even renew it, and how much it is for them to renew it. By the way, if it's an apartment, in some cases, the state today, the Israel government will let you turn in the lease to a private ownership. So that's also something worth checking.
Well, that's why we're here, Unconfused Israel Estate. We're trying to make buying and renting and selling real estate easier.
I'm listening to myself talking. It sounds so complex.
Exactly.
I understand what I'm talking, and I hopefully, I think if people that hearing us today, listening to us, know, like they understand everything, or it sounds like gibberish to them. So first of all, I'm looking to the camera. You don't have to understand everything, okay? This is why you have us here. You have a lawyer, you have a broker, you have a property manager, and you don't have to understand and know everything from A to Z. So you need to have the right people to trust them. You know, eventually people are buying. Most of them don't want me to translate all the contract to them. They want to know the main points, how much they paying, what's the ownership rights, what's the
and what the
payment,
terms basically
what the terms,
are.
what's the payment layout,
and what happened if something happened
exactly,
and they
and
break
breach of contract, yeah, and how much they need to pay, or the other side needs to pay to them, yeah. So you need to know the main things. Eventually, nobody will read even if it's a developer contract, which can be like 100 pages.
Yeah.
They're not gonna read all of it. So they want to know the main issues, and you need to have someone that know how to sum it up for you. So Maayan, you said that you married an American guy, and that's the reason why you're working with a lot of Americans. American dude. So that's the reason why you're working with a lot of Americans, or just a
Wow, it's a great question. I don't know if that's the reason. I think naturally I was helping him, or like...
Where is he from?
He's from California.
Okay, where in California?
Well, he grew up in La Jolla. I don't know why he came here. I don't know.
That's why we ask everybody, why you coming here?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
So I started everything in the law office when I was working in a law office, and there were clients there that needed some help with keeping their apartment while they're empty, come visit once a while. I'm like, that's a great business idea.
It's niche, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I actually liked the aspect of helping people. Like, they were kind of depending on me. My first client, I did everything. Like, it was amazing because they were abroad and they came here once in a while. And every time they came back, something was broken, something was not working. And to be the person who saves you is the best feeling to have. But so I made a survey and I checked how many empty apartments there are. In Israel, it was 14 years ago, and it was around 180,000. And they check it in the Lamas. They see that the meters are not working, the water and electricity. That's how they made the number. I'm sure there are companies like us, not a lot, but that open the taps and the electricity, and then so it's much more. And now it's doubled because Bat Yam is also empty. A lot of foreigners buy and just
right.
Keep
Park,
it
especially
Park Hayam, yeah. And Netanya is really grown up. Ra'anana now,
mostly
Modi'in
Jerusalem
even.
and Tel Aviv, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. A lot of cities started to be like ghost houses. And so slowly, I got into it. And some clients said to me once, "You like my Mashiach in Israel? Everything that happens, you save us." And it's great. For business, it's less awesome because then you do everything. You're like a concierge. But you want to help them. In the end, that's the goal of the business, to assist people who has difficulties manage their properties here. So sometimes they ask for weird stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going with the
That's
flow.
job, yeah,
It's
whatever
okay.
you need, right? By the way, I have three things to say about what you just said. I don't know if you recall, but we know each other for about 7 years now, and the reason why we talked is because I'm doing property management as well. So this is how we
For your clients
for my
from
clients,
abroad.
yeah, that
Yeah.
buys apartments here. And the two other things I wanted to say is why I like working mostly with non-residents more than Israeli clients is because they're, I don't know if much more appreciative is the word, but they need you much more than Israeli clients. They're depending on you, and obviously you do a lot more than for an Israeli client.
Well, also Israeli clients, sorry for interrupting. He will ask you for the help, and then he's going to tell you, no, do it like this.
Right. He's
And
going
then
to
he's
do your
going,
job.
and then in the end, he's going to be angry, but he told you what to do. So they know everything.
You know why? Because he has a cousin or a friend who studied law and went to law school, and he will tell you how to do it, how to do your job. Or he behind your back talked to another lawyer and he told him to do the opposite.
Yeah, Israelis has characters, but in the end, everyone wants to come and be here. And I actually think the service got so much better in the past couple years, don't you think?
For non-residents, the service
For
here?
for service, the coffee shops, the online shopping, even
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we're kind of a American state by ourselves here in Israel. So we have a like an American mentality. So a lot of people can fit right in when they come here, even if it's for a visit or to live here in some cases. But what I wanted to say is, I think that especially Americans, but not just, are talk much more highly of Israel than what we talk about Israel when they want to come and buy here or live here. So not really. I don't think we are appreciative enough of our state, because when you see what happens in other countries, people look at us differently than what we look at ourselves.
you mean we complain about Israel, we're frustrating.
We know what's wrong with Israel, right? We don't look on the upside and the pluses in our country, but other people from outside can.
The half
See
full
that.
cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's true.